Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Kennedy half-dollar coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we have a real treat for you, the United States Kennedy half-dollar 1776 to 1976. This coin isn't just a piece of American currency, it's a symbol of American history, and you may be surprised by just how valuable this coin can be. The Kennedy half-dollar, minted to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination, has become one of the most iconic coins in U.S. numismatics. But what makes the 1776 to 1976 version particularly special? Let's take a closer look at its history, design, and why it could be worth far more than you think. The United States government first issued the Kennedy half-dollar in 1964, just a few months after President Kennedy's death. The design, created by the talented engraver Gilroy Roberts, features a portrait of Kennedy on the obverse side of the coin. This image has since become one of the most recognized depictions of a U.S. president on any coin. However, it's the special 1776 to 1976 edition of the Kennedy half-dollar that brings us here today. In 1975 and 1976, the U.S. Mint struck special bicentennial versions of several coins to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. The Kennedy half-dollar was one of them. These coins were not only produced in great numbers but also had a unique design to mark the historic event. On the reverse side of the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, you'll find a dramatic change from the typical design. Instead of the usual eagle, the coin features a depiction of the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon. This design was created by the talented artist Jack L. Ahr, and it reflects both the spirit of American freedom and the nation's achievements in space exploration, particularly the moon landing in 1969. This striking and patriotic design makes the coin especially popular among collectors, with many considering it one of the most visually appealing U.S. coins ever minted. Now, let's talk about the value of this coin. While the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar was produced in huge quantities, some coins have gained significant value over time. Why? It all comes down to factors like rarity, condition, and unique features. First, the overall rarity of these coins is important. Although millions of these bicentennial half-dollars were minted, not all of them were well preserved. Coins that were stored improperly or heavily circulated show signs of wear and damage, which significantly reduces their value. On the other hand, coins that remain in excellent, uncirculated condition are far more valuable to collectors. Another factor that adds to the value of these coins is their special minting errors. As with many coins, there were occasional mistakes during the minting process. Some of the Kennedy half-dollars from this era have unique features, like double-struck designs, or other imperfections that make them even more desirable to coin collectors. Coins with such minting errors can fetch much higher prices than standard-issue versions, but the real game-changer comes when you find a Kennedy half-dollar 1776 to 1976 in pristine condition or with a rare minting flaw. These coins have become increasingly sought after in recent years, especially as collectors realize the historical and artistic significance of this special issue. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, just how much can the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar be worth? If you happen to have one in top condition, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Some of these coins have sold for as much as $73,000. Yes, you heard that right, $73,000. It's incredible to think that a coin that was produced in the millions for circulation could fetch such a high price today. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, the Kennedy half-dollar 1776 to 1976 is a piece of American history that deserves a place in any collection. It's a fascinating example of how time, rarity, and condition can transform a simple piece of currency into a highly coveted treasure. So, if you come across one of these coins, make sure to examine it carefully. You might just be holding on to a small fortune. Top 2, we're diving into a truly fascinating coin from the United States, the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar. While this coin may not be as famous as some of the other rarities out there, it has garnered attention for its unique qualities, historical significance, and, most surprisingly, its potential value. Stick with us as we explore why this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth a whole lot more than you might think. Let's start with a little background on the Kennedy half-dollar itself. First minted in 1964 to honor the late President John F. Kennedy, the coin has become an iconic part of U.S. currency. For years, the coin has been produced in various forms, often commemorating significant events in American history or reflecting the era in which it was minted. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar, however, stands out in the world of numismatics for a few key reasons. To understand why this particular year is important, we need to look at the state of U.S. coinage at the time. By 1983, the Kennedy half-dollar had already been in circulation for nearly 2 decades. However, the coin had stopped being produced for general circulation in 1971, and instead, it was mostly available through collector's sets and special mint offerings. That's where the 1983 coin comes into play. While it wasn't initially intended for widespread circulation, a small number of 1983 Kennedy half-dollars were still released for collectors, which sets this year apart from the others. The 1983 coin is part of a period where the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new ways of producing and distributing coins. Because of this, the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar didn't circulate as widely as its predecessors, making it much rarer to find in pristine condition. So why does this specific coin hold such value? The main reason comes down to its rarity and condition. As you probably know, the value of a coin is heavily influenced by how many of them were minted and how well they've been preserved over time. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar, especially in uncirculated condition, is considered a rarity. Most of the coins minted that year were put into collector's sets and didn't see much use in daily transactions, but it's not just about how rare the coin is, it's about the overall condition. For any coin, the closer it is to its original, uncirculated state, the more valuable it becomes. Coins that have been well preserved, with sharp details and no signs of wear, are highly sought after by collectors. For the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar, coins that were kept in pristine condition have the potential to fetch quite a bit on the market. Another interesting factor is the potential for minting errors, which can also increase a coin's value. Sometimes, coins are accidentally double-struck, off-center, or even misprinted, making them unique in the world of coin collecting. These error coins are rare, but they can significantly increase the value of an otherwise common coin. If you happen to have a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar with a minting error, you could be looking at a serious windfall. So, how much is this coin worth? It might surprise you to know that a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar in excellent, uncirculated condition could fetch an impressive price. Some of these coins, especially those with minting errors, have been known to sell for as much as $53,000. Yes, $53,000. That's an astounding amount for a coin that was produced decades ago and originally only worth 50 cents. It's incredible how the value of coins like the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar can rise over time, especially when you factor in the rarity and condition of each individual coin. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone who's just starting to look into the world of numismatics, this is a great example of how certain coins can appreciate in value and become highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to have a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar in your collection, or even if you're just curious about learning more about rare coins, be sure to examine it closely. Who knows? You might just have a small fortune on your hands. Top 3. We're going to take a deep dive into a coin that you may have overlooked before, the United States Kennedy half-dollar from the year 2000. While this coin might seem like just another modern minting, there's more to this piece of U.S. currency than meets the eye. Stick with us as we uncover what makes the 2000 Kennedy half-dollar special, and just how much it could be worth. When we think of the Kennedy half-dollar, most people's minds immediately go to the history behind it. The coin was first minted in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. The coin quickly became an iconic piece of American currency, featuring Kennedy's image on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse side, symbolizing strength and freedom. Over the years, the Kennedy half-dollar has evolved and been produced in many different variations. But today, we're focusing on the 2000 edition, which has a unique story of its own. Now, let's set the stage by looking at what the US Mint was doing around the year 2000. The millennium was just around the corner, and there was a lot of excitement surrounding the new century. The US Mint, in keeping with its tradition, released a new batch of Kennedy half-dollars, but these coins were not meant for circulation. Unlike earlier years when the Kennedy half-dollar was more commonly used in day-to-day transactions, the 2000 edition was primarily available in special proof sets and other limited editions for collectors. So, what makes the 2000 Kennedy half-dollar stand out from the rest? One word: rarity. Even though the coin was minted in large numbers, it wasn't widely circulated like earlier versions of the coin. Most of these 2000 Kennedy half-dollars were either stored away in proof sets or kept by collectors who understood the significance of holding onto a pristine version. Because of this limited circulation, finding one in excellent condition today is much harder than you might think, and let's not forget the importance of condition when it comes to the value of coins. Like all collectibles, a coin's condition plays a massive role in determining its worth. If a coin is scratched, worn down, or has any other signs of wear and tear, its value diminishes. But a well-preserved coin with sharp details and no visible damage is far more valuable to collectors. The 2000 Kennedy half-dollar is no different. Coins that have been well kept and preserved in mint or near mint condition are highly sought after in the numismatic world, but there's more. Beyond just rarity and condition, some 2000 Kennedy half-dollars have unique characteristics that can make them even more valuable. Mint errors, such as double strikes or off-center impressions, can significantly increase the coin's worth. These kinds of errors happen during the minting process, and they're often seen as one-of-a-kind pieces. Collectors love coins with these types of imperfections because they stand out from the mass-produced versions, making them highly collectible. So, what's the big question? How much can a 2000 Kennedy half-dollar be worth? While the typical coin from this year isn't worth an astronomical amount, if you have one in pristine, uncirculated condition, or even better, if it has a minting error, it could be worth quite a bit. In fact, some of these coins have been known to sell for as much as $50,000. Yes, you heard that right, $50,000. That's an incredible sum for a coin that was originally minted as part of a standard proof set. The value of this coin depends heavily on its condition and whether it has any rare minting errors. If you happen to find a 2000 Kennedy half-dollar with a unique flaw, or if yours is in impeccable condition, you might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. Even coins that were stored properly and are part of limited edition sets are still in high demand among collectors, pushing their value higher and higher as time goes on. If you're into coin collecting or just curious about the hidden value of everyday currency, the 2000 Kennedy half-dollar is one coin that's definitely worth paying attention to. With its historical significance, limited circulation, and potential for minting errors, it could very well be worth far more than its face value. So, if you happen to stumble across a 2000 Kennedy half-dollar, make sure to examine it carefully. You never know, you could be holding onto a coin worth $50,000. Top 4, we've got an exciting topic that might surprise you: the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar. While this coin may not have the same legendary status as some other rarities, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Stick with us as we dive into the details of this coin, why it's more valuable than you might think, and just how much you could be sitting on if you happen to have one of these coins in your collection. To start, let's take a quick look at the history of the Kennedy half-dollar. First minted in 1964 after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, this coin has since become an iconic piece of U.S. currency. The obverse features a portrait of Kennedy, and the reverse typically depicts an eagle, symbolizing strength and freedom. For years, the Kennedy half-dollar has been an important part of American coinage, even though it hasn't been in widespread circulation since the 1970s. Fast forward to 1988, and the U.S. Mint was still producing the Kennedy half-dollar, but not for everyday use. By this time, the coin had shifted to being mostly available through special proof sets or for collectors rather than in general circulation. As a result, the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar, much like many other coins from this period, didn't see as much wear and tear from daily transactions, which is a big factor in its value today. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar so special? The key here is its rarity and condition. Although the coin was minted in large numbers, most of the 1988 half-dollars were released in limited runs for collector's sets. Because of this, finding one of these coins in excellent, uncirculated condition is rare. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition are highly sought after in the world of numismatics. Over time, coins that were once stored away or carefully preserved can be worth much more than their original face value, but it doesn't stop there. Another factor that makes the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar valuable is the potential for mint errors. Like many coins, the 1988 edition could have been subject to the occasional flaw in the minting process. Mint errors can come in various forms, such as double strikes, off-center impressions, or even misspellings. These imperfections make certain coins much more valuable to collectors because they are considered one of a kind. If you happen to have a 1988 Kennedy half-dollar with a mint error, you could be looking at a coin that's worth far more than a standard version. When it comes to the value of this coin, condition is everything. The 1988 Kennedy half-dollar was produced in both proof and business strike versions, with the proof coins being the most highly polished and reflective. If you happen to have a proof coin from 1988 that's been kept in immaculate condition, it could command a significant price at auction. Additionally, coins with unique minting errors can fetch even higher prices, as collectors are always on the lookout for rare and unusual pieces to add to their collections. So, what could a 1988 Kennedy half-dollar be worth? While most of these coins might not be worth much beyond their face value, if you have one that's in uncirculated condition or features a minting error, the value could be much higher. In fact, some 1988 Kennedy half-dollars have sold for as much as $59,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $59,000. It's incredible to think that a coin that was once produced for just 50 cents could have such a high price tag. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who's just starting to get into the world of rare coins, the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar is a prime example of how a coin's value can appreciate over time. With the right condition and a little luck, you could be holding onto something worth far more than you initially thought. So, the next time you come across a 1988 Kennedy half-dollar, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just have a hidden treasure in your hands. Top 5 and last unique coin, we've got something exciting to share with you. We're diving into the world of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that might not be the first to come to mind when you think of valuable currency, but trust me, this one holds a special place in the world of numismatics. You might be shocked to learn just how much this coin is worth today, and how it went from being part of everyday transactions to becoming a highly coveted item for collectors. The Kennedy half-dollar, first minted in 1964, was created as a tribute to the late President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. This coin has a long and rich history, and it's a mainstay in U.S. coinage. The obverse side features the iconic profile of President Kennedy, while the reverse typically shows an eagle, symbolizing strength and freedom. Over the years, the design of the coin remained mostly consistent, with minor changes. However, by 1973, things had started to shift in the world of U.S. currency, and that's where the story of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar begins. Now, let's talk about the 1973 version itself. By this point, the Kennedy half-dollar was no longer widely circulated in daily transactions. In fact, most of these coins were being produced for collector's sets, meaning they were rarely seen in the hands of the general public. This is what sets the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar apart from many others in the series. While millions of coins were minted that year, the fact that most were kept as part of special sets for collectors means that fewer coins experienced the typical wear and tear from being used in everyday commerce. This results in the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar being far more valuable today, especially in pristine, uncirculated condition. Condition plays a huge role in the world of coin collecting. A coin that's been heavily circulated and shows signs of wear is typically worth much less than one that's been carefully preserved. Coins that are in excellent condition, or better yet, have never been used or touched by circulation, can be worth a small fortune. For the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, it's those rare, uncirculated pieces that have caught the attention of collectors and numismatists. If you've got a 1973 coin that looks like it just came out of the minting press, you could be holding on to something special, but there's more. In addition to the overall condition of the coin, there's another factor that can dramatically affect the value of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar: minting errors. Coins that were struck incorrectly during the minting process are highly sought after by collectors. These errors can range from double strikes to off-center impressions, or even coins with misprints. These kinds of coins are rarities in the world of numismatics and can fetch far higher prices than a standard issue coin. If you happen to own a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar with one of these minting errors, you could have a unique and highly valuable piece in your collection. The value of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar has steadily increased over the years, especially for those that have been preserved in mint condition or have errors. What might seem like just another coin to the untrained eye can actually be a hidden treasure, waiting for the right collector to discover its true worth. So, how much is a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar worth? While most of these coins are relatively affordable, if you've got one in pristine condition, or even one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a serious jackpot. In fact, a well-preserved 1973 Kennedy half-dollar can fetch as much as $79,000. Yes, you heard that right, $79,000. That's a remarkable sum for a coin that originally had a face value of just 50 cents. It goes to show how the value of coins can appreciate over time, especially when they're rare or in exceptional condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting to explore the world of rare coins, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is a great example of how seemingly ordinary coins can become extraordinary treasures. If you've got one in your collection, be sure to take a close look at it. You never know, you might just be holding on to something worth a fortune. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar and want to discover more about valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Keep on collecting, and remember, sometimes the most overlooked coins can turn out to be worth a lot more than you think.